This is an introduction to WebGIS, and this is part 3. In part 3, we're going to be specifically talking about ArcGIS Online, or AGOL, and how we can take a map that we've made with ArcGIS Pro and publish it to AGOL. So ArcGIS Online, or AGOL, is Esri's cloud-based GIS server. One good thing about it is it doesn't require advanced IT skills. And you would need those if you're working with ArcGIS Enterprise Server, but here it's an easy level of entry. Some of the things users can do with AGOL is they can host web services without any programming background. They can create applications also without doing any programming. And they can also collaborate online. They can both access and edit web services and applications through AGOL. There's two different types of users accounts for AGOL. One is the organizational account, which is what you'll be working in which members can create and publish feature layers that are hosted, have access to web applications, geoprocessing tools, all of those sorts of things, and then share that within the organization. Public accounts, if friends or family are interested, they could get started on that. It's free, but it has limited capability. So in publishing a map from ArcGIS Pro to ArcGIS Online, we would create these new layer types. One would be a feature layer, which would be for the vector data, and it could be queried and edited online, and of course this would be a feature service. A tile layer resulting from this would include map images. They would be stored on the server, and once again these are good for base maps because these are map services. And finally, these could be vector tile layers. This would be once again vector drawings. It would draw quickly, but it would be limited in that you would not be able to edit it or to query it to get values from it, and that would be the vector tile service. So other web layers are also possible, but these are the basic ones. And remember that the feature layer is associated with a web feature service. And that's just showing the, as you're publishing, what you will see there in that little screenshot. So when you publish from ArcGIS Pro to ArcGIS Online, you'll be able to look in ArcGIS Online and you'll be able to see these different things listed. So at the top there is a web map is shown, and then there's a feature layer also shown, and the last thing shown there is a service definition, and the service definition is just a file that provides information about the feature service properties. So that's something else that you could see as you're looking at this in ArcGIS Online. When we look at a web map, we can use these things to create a web map in the web map viewer. And on the left-hand side there, under the Table of Contents toolbar, those are things that you can do with the map. And on the right-hand side, under the Settings toolbar on the Web Map Viewer, those are the things to do with any particular layer that you've selected here. And so we want to move these things into a web map because once they're in a web map, then we can use that web map to create all sorts of other things. So once again, starting at the upper left here, if we do have a map in ArcGIS Pro, we can publish it to a feature layer, a hosted feature layer, and that's going to give us these layer services depending on what our data is of feature layers, map layers, web feature services, web mapping services, etc. We can also bring other data into our web map, such as we can take a .csv file if it has geospatial information in and bring it in as part of our web map, or we could take data that we've either collected in the field or maybe through another app like Survey 123. All of those things we can put in our web map, which are hosted feature layers, map layers, etc. And then we can combine these services and configure them as we want to with AGOL's map viewer. Once we have the web map, then we can start creating all those things shown on the right-hand side there, including a dashboard. Probably the most famous dashboard was the COVID dashboard that not only showed the data associated with the spread of COVID, but maps of where the where the cases were increasing. We could embed a web map into an HTML web page if we wanted to. There are also things called story maps, which are multimedia and interactive websites designed to tell a story. So they might include maps, but and they could have maps on the page where you interact with them. For example, you might slide something back and forth to see how things have changed over time. But when we get to the web mapping app, that's really where people think of the most interactivity with a map. So that's some sort of interactive web application. It's using the web map, but it's also using tools so that the client can do things like look at analysis or query of the data.